video, I'm going to go over a few things. You probably already know if you have a fire pit like this, propane fire pit, you have to carry around an extra propane cylinder to operate them. So they usually come with a hose and a regulator on the end. And I just got this one here, and I fired it up. I hooked it up to a propane tank. Thing works really good. It's 19-inch. It puts out 54,000 BTU, and that one I've had for 7 years, it's a 24-inch and it puts out 58,000 BTU. So I'm really impressed with the little one here. It puts out a lot. So I'm going to start carrying it. It's a lot smaller for the trailer. And what I want to do is take and eliminate this hose with this regulator on the end. And I want to go over here. I have propane that comes off the trailer to feed the barbecue. So I'm going to put on here, I'm going to go ahead and put a splitter here where I could run the barbecue, and I can have a hose coming off to go to the fire pit or to my Blackstone over there. So either one. They have splits where you can do, I could do a split off so it does the barbecue and the Blackstone and the fire pit at the same time. But I don't think I'd be running them all at the same time, so I just got a two-way splitter. This fire pit's pretty cool. It comes with the top that you see here, and it locks in place so you can carry it around, and it protects everything in there. It comes with a wrench to put the handle on, because the handle's off, and then it has a stand to hold a propane tank, which I don't think a lot of people use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through what I'm going to do here and how things operate. I'm going to take you to the front of the trailer real quick. Before I get too far into this video, I want to do a shout out to T&T Rving. I'll put a link to their YouTube channel in the description below. The project here that I'm doing, a lot of it he had done already. So and I was planning on doing it for a long time, but he kind of inspired me to get going on it. So go ahead and take a look at his channel. I think you'll like it. So I want to show you the front of the trailer here. I got two large propane tanks, pressure regulator here. These tanks put out more pressure than what comes out of the regulator, so this reduces the pressure. This hose here goes into the trailer and feeds the stove and other appliances, water heater, stuff like that. So it also goes to the barbecue outside. So I just want to show you this. There's one regulator, and that's all you need on this trailer, instead of having a separate one on the fire pit and the barbecue and the Blackstone. So it's important you just use one regulator. And I'm going to go show you on the fire pit the reason why. So most things you buy, like these fire pits and the Blackstone and barbecues, have a built-in regulator off of a hose like this. So since I'm going to be coming off the tanks and splitting off after the regulator, I don't want to run my propane through another regulator, because let's say I had one regulator here and pressure is being reduced here, and then it comes through here, it might be reduced even more. So you aren't going to get the full force of flame out of this fire pit. So there's no need for any other regulators after the one by the tanks. I placed this on a table so it'd be easier to work on. I'm going to take and remove this regulator and hose and put some fittings on under here. So I'm going to flip this over so you can take a look. So I can't just get a wrench on here to crank it because everything here tries to move. So I'm going to have to take this assembly off real quick. So you pull the knob off, and then you have two screws here. So I'm going to take those screws off, and then over here, I'm going to take this off. I'll be able to pull this whole unit out. And I don't have a vise, but I'm going to have to rig something up so I can hold this in place while I turn this. I've got it out. I end up having to pull this cover off. I had to loosen up here. There's a nut up here. Loosen that. I didn't take it all the way off because if I took that nut off, that bolt would fall inside there. And then there was 2 screws I was able to push down and remove the screws right here, so I could take this unit out, and then I just unplug the wire off of it, which I'll put back when I'm done. So now I got this loose. So I'm going to rig something up so to hold it in place so I could go ahead and take this off. So I was able to break it free. I put vice grips on here to hold it, and then held this in place and really hard. And then here, put the wrench on here and just broke it free. So now it could be taken off. So I'm going to go ahead and take it off and then put this valve back in place to show you what I'm going to do next. So I got it back together, and just so you know, this here, this gas line here, there's a compression coupling here. It came off, it was hand tight, so it wasn't tight, so that's gas, so you want to make sure that's tight. And then over here there's this nut here, it was loose also. So if you don't make the modifications I did, then make sure you go under here and check it out and make sure everything's tight. So now what I want to do is I want to do a quick connect fitting so it connects to the hose that I have. So anyway, if I go like this and I put it on here, then my quick connect, when I do my hose and everything right here in the top, it's going to be poking through the bottom where the ground is. So I need to actually make it come up and over so I can do a quick connect. So I'm going to go ahead and do something like this. I'm just going to put it loose like this, and then come out the side. So I can just plug my hose right in here. So there's no reason to put Teflon tape on here because they're tapered fittings. Right here, I'll show you. Right here, see there's a taper on it, and a taper inside here. I'm not sure if you can see that, and it'll make a nice tight fit. So I'm going to go ahead and put this together and come back to you. So now I'll be able to show you with this all tightened up, how this quick connect works. It goes like that, shuts on and off, and then the other end is going to plug in by the barbecue of this hose. So I'm going to go ahead and disconnect that and flip this over and show you what kind of clearance I have here now. So I want to show you here up above the clearance I have now. It's coming out the side. Before it would have came out down below, and I wouldn't have been able to get the hose on there really with that quick connect. So this is a good way to do that. On the other fire pit, I want to show you real quick in case you want to do the same thing with your other fire pit that's like my other 24-inch, what I have to do to make it work. So on this other fire pit, I've loosened it up already, and I'm going to take this off. It comes out the side, so it's a lot easier to do than the other one. Have this, screw it on there, and then I'll tighten it up, and then we'll see how that works. But I'll probably keep this fire pit, like I think I mentioned before, at home and carry the little one around camping. I want to show you where the propane comes out of the trailer over to the barbecue, which I'll show you over here. Where it connects right here. So here's the Y that I'm going to be using. So I'm going to go ahead, pull this off. This will connect here, just like that. This one here, let me see. I'll probably go like that. Connects like that, locks in place, and then I'll run my hose that goes over to the fire pit right here, just like that. So then this goes to from the trailer to the barbecue to the fire pit. So you can also take and leave this connected and then it could be unplugged from here and then run over to the Blackstone. I'm going to show you how I'm going to set that up so it'll connect onto the Blackstone. So on the 17-inch Blackstone, it has a regulator here where you can use it on the small propane tank right here, 1 pound propane tank. So you can use it on the tank, or you can connect this to a separate propane tank, and then this has a fitting that just screws right into there. So you can go that option. So I'm going to eliminate this right here. So with the regulator removed, they sell this here. I'm going to make sure that I put in the description below the video all the parts that I've used in this video for you if you want to purchase them. So this just goes right on here like this, tight, and then I'm going to go ahead and go get my hose to connect to it. So now I've got this on there, hand tight, my quick connect that I just took off of the fire pit, and it hooks right up to that, so I can just switch between the Blackstone or the fire pit. So they do sell these in 3-way splitters, where I could have went to the barbecue, to the fire pit, and then I could have went over to the Blackstone, but I chose to only go this route. So there's no need to have a regulator anymore because we're using the regulator over by the propane tanks. That's for the Blackstone and the barbecue and the fire pits. So we don't need these regulators anymore. Just want to let you know that I sprayed soap on all the fittings that I just did to make sure they're not leaking. So it's a liquid soap. You put some soap and water, spray it on the fittings, and if you see bubbles with the gas on, then there's a leak. So everything is nice and tight. I'm going to go ahead and light the Blackstone. And I'm not sure, I'm going to put a link to a video that I made. We camp at the coast where it's windy a lot. And so there's usually a gap here, and the wind would go and blow in here and stuff. So I would take and put foil around there so the wind doesn't blow it out. I took a little bit of sheet metal that I bought at the hardware store, prop riveted it on, and I left a little gap for air. And so it keeps my flame from blowing out. So I'll put a link in the description below the video to show you how I did that. I wanted to do a test where I'm running the Blackstone and the barbecue at the same time. So I have them both running, and I didn't notice any change in the flame. Let me go over to the barbecue. There's a flame there. I don't see any change from what I usually have. I'm going to go ahead and fire off the heater in the trailer and see if I see a change in there. So right now I have the Blackstone running, the barbecue, and the heater, and everything is working fine. I'm going to go ahead and try running the heater and the barbecue, and then connect this to the fire pit and see how it runs the fire pit and these 3 items at once. So now I have the fire pit running. The flame is like it usually is, just running with the fire pit. I have the barbecue running and the heater all at the same time. So now I'm going to go ahead and run all this, and then I'm going to run the water heater at the same time and see if the flame changes on the fire pit. Here we are at the water heater, and it's running just fine like it usually does with the propane. And I'm going to go around and check the fire pit and the barbecue and everything and see if it's still running. So with the water heater running, the fire pit's going strong, the furnace is going strong, barbecue is going strong. I'm going to go ahead and try and turn the stove on too and see if I see any change in the flames. So I got the stove running, the fire pit, barbecue, water heater, and the furnace for the trailer, and everything is running strong. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope this video was helpful. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe and the bell icon to receive future videos. If you're already subscribed, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Feel free to leave comments below. I like to read them and reply to all of them when I have time. So if I don't get back to you right away, if you have a question or something, it's because we're out camping, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Take care, everybody, and happy camping.